Hi everyone, my name is Christina Correa and I'm an art teacher in South Texas. And after playing around with all of the different tools that we have available to us for virtual learning, I figured out a new trick for using Zoom, which I'm sure is not really new. I'm sure somebody else has come up with a really amazing way to show teachers how to use this. But I thought while I'm messing around with it, I might as well make a little demonstration for you. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share this presentation full screen so that you can see it in a larger format. Oh, let's see, where is my screen? So here, let me back it up. How to use your cell phone as a document camera on Zoom. And I wanted to show you the setup and why this is really important to me. So I have a bachelor's degree in mass communications, and I feel like my professors would be really proud of me right now for using my skills as a broadcast person or as a former broadcast person in an art teaching role, but creating really high quality video demonstrations for my students when I can't be there for them in person is important to me. So I did a little searching on Amazon. I had a gift card and I found this wonderful tripod setup that you can see here. Okay. Um, I love it. It's super versatile. You can move your cell phone around so that it hovers directly over your work surface. What I have right now, if I stop sharing my screen, is I've got it situated so that you can see a drawing that I started working on as a demonstration for my students. And there's a little bit of a lag depending on your broadband speed, but I love that now I can go seamlessly back and forth between a demonstration for my students and a presentation. So let me go back to sharing my screen. And here we go, sharing. And I don't have to make multiple videos to do that. I don't have to mess with other editing software. It's all in one place. And at the end, I have a video that I can upload to different platforms. I can upload to Teams, which is what we're using for our school district. I can upload it to Stream. I can upload it to YouTube. I love it. So yeah, this is what I'm working. Love my little space I've got set up here. And let me show you how I got this done. Okay, so the first thing that I needed to do is go onto my desktop computer, and on my laptop or on your desktop, whatever you're using, you need to start a new meeting on Zoom. So you click on this little icon here, it'll start a new meeting. And when you start that new meeting, it's really important that you join with your computer audio because maybe your cell phone is nicer than mine, but I found that my laptop has much better audio than my cell phone does. And until I have an external mic, I would rather use the quality sound of my laptop as opposed to the kind of not so great sound that I've got on my cell phone. You also want to make sure that you stop video so that you're not simultaneously recording on your laptop and on your cell phone, because that kind of does away with the point of having a document camera. And if you're like me and you record early in the morning or late at night, you don't have to worry about fixing your hair or putting on makeup because you don't ever have to show your face, which is what I love about this the most. Okay. Then, after you've done this on your desktop, you want to make sure that you look for the Zoom meeting ID, which is going to be in the top bar of your Zoom meeting. Okay, you can see my meeting ID right here, and I'm going to enter that into my cell phone Zoom app. Full disclosure, I'm using an iPhone. I'm not sure what it looks like on an Android, so I don't know how different this is. Sorry. But entering my meeting ID, the same one that you see here, entering it into my cell phone. And what's really important is that you turn on this little toggle here that says don't connect to audio, because if you leave the audio connected, you're going to get that really annoying echo, which I know I personally hate. It makes me cringe. So unless you're okay with the echo, make sure you do. You switch the toggle so that it says don't connect to audio. Okay. The really important part in all of this is making sure that you switch from gallery view on your desktop to speaker view. This is probably what took me the longest time to figure out this afternoon, and figure how to present this demo and wondering why it wasn't recording. If you leave it in gallery view, what's going to happen is when you're speaking, your desktop is just going to show like the icon for yourself on your desktop, and it's not going to show anything on your document camera. So I'll give you an example right here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, so right now what you can see is my my drawing. You know, here are my notes that I will share with you a little bit later. But if I had this on, I'll give you a little idea here. I'm going to switch it to gallery view. What's going to show up now is that little icon with my face, and you're not going to be able to see any of the work on my document camera. That's so important. So I'm switching it back to speaker view so that that way you always are able to see what's on your document camera. Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, and I also noticed in making these videos over the last week, I say okay a lot. I don't know if I'm reassuring myself or my students. I don't think it really matters today. Okay, so switch to gallery view. Okay, to speaker view. Now, the next thing you want to do on your desktop is you want to manage your participants, because you need to switch the hosting to your cell phone so that you can use your cell phone as a document camera. So at the bottom of the screen, you're going to click on Manage Participants. There should only be two, your desktop self and your cell phone self, because it's a meeting with yourself. So when I click on that, it shows that I have two participants. Right now, my desktop self is the host. And here underneath, what's circled in pink, is my cell phone self. I want to make my cell phone self the host so that that way I can use my cell phone as a document camera. So important. In order to do this, I click on More, and I'm going to make myself a host. Really important. But you also need to make sure that you allow yourself to record on your desktop. So now I'm going to go over to my, oh, well, I got ahead of myself. Yes, I do want to change my host to myself. That's so important. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to go over to my cell phone now, and I'm going to click on participants at the bottom. These two little hanger people. And I see now that my desktop self is no longer the host because my cell phone is. So this is my desktop self. I'm going to click on my desktop self, and this little menu is going to pop up. And one of the choices is to allow record. Yes, you want to allow yourself to record. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make the videos. Okay, so you click on allow record and go back to your desktop. Okay, just switching, and this is just to get it set up. Once you get it set up, then you don't have to bother with this anymore. Back on my desktop, I'm going to click on the three little dots for more and record on this computer. And what it magically does is allow you to record on both your cell phone and on your computer, so you can do like what I'm doing right now, where I can stop sharing and I can show you what is on my screen here, okay? And then I can also go back to sharing my screen with you and show you a presentation. So I think that there is a variety of ways that you can use this in your classroom depending on your content, okay? Now, in order to end the recording, there are a couple of things you can do. So you can either pause your recording. So one of my options right now is I can click on the more here, and you can pause the recording. And I think that that could be helpful if you want to do a before and after, if you need to take a break. You know, life happens. You can pause it and it'll continue the recording when you start it again. Or you can stop the recording. I'm not going to stop it just yet because then you would miss out on a lot of great information. What you do need to do is make sure that on your cell phone, you end the meeting, okay? You end the meeting so that way it'll actually process and publish the recording. And let me show you something really quickly. So you can actually do this, okay? Stop sharing. You can actually do this on your phone too. You can end the meeting from here, right? If you leave it, but it's not going to actually process your recording until it's totally ended altogether. So you can leave the meeting here, but you need to make sure that on your cell phone you can actually end the meeting. And what I just noticed, and I apologize, is that my cell phone battery is dying, and so it's not actually projecting my screen anymore because it can't do Zoom and all the other things at the same time. So let me go ahead and just finish sharing with you the last couple of things. I'm going to share my screen with you again, okay, just so that you can see where we're at. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen, and I ended the meeting, okay, and these are the instructions that I have available for you here. So I'll leave those up for you for a minute to kind of go over. And what's nice is because it's a recording, you can actually pause it here and go over them yourself when you have time. But again, what you would do when this is done is, I'm gonna go back, you'd go to your Zoom meeting, and I'm gonna stop sharing so you don't see all this stuff here. And stop the recording, and on your home page, we go over here to meetings, then you can find your recordings, which is great. And you can play them so you can preview them and see all of the different things you said or didn't say, and maybe re-record if you need to. You can play the audio only, which might be helpful if you're podcasting. Who knows? We all have different things that we're contending with our students, and I think we've just got to find the best solution, right? And the other great thing about it is you can open the folder and it shows you here in MP4 format, the actual file. And so if your district is like mine, where you have to upload to a server, like we're using Stream or Teams, then you can just drag the video over to your server and it's done, which is great, okay? So, oh my gosh, I just realized I don't even know if this shared any of it with you. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go back again just to share that last couple of steps with you. Um, so here's the learning curve, right, of distance learning. I'm so sorry. I think you just have to kind of roll with the punches. So to recap what I was just sharing with you, to find your meetings once your recording is done, you go over to meetings and you can see the video and audio files here. You can open it and it'll take you to the MP4 format, and then you can upload it to YouTube or whatever server you need to for your students or for yourself. And lastly, let me just make sure that you got to see those instructions one more time because I might have stopped sharing. And here is where we have, you know, the great learning curve for teachers who are used to doing things in person, like myself. But I hope you find this video informative and helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. But thought I would share some learning with you that could be helpful in your classroom. So if you haven't started learning with your students online, I wish you a great first day. And if you've already started, I hope this is another tool in your toolbox for education, because bringing the joy to our students is one of the most important things that we can do right now. Have a great evening, and I will see you all next time. Bye.